See a lot of familiar names on this list. Hope y'all are doing well.
All right, Scotty, what do you say we kick this thing off? Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us this lunch and learn and Q&A on the Arkansas Graveler and what is America's most hospitable gravel ride, returning June 3rd through the 7th, 2025. My name is Brannon back. I'm your moderator today and course director for this year's event. And with me, as always, Scotty Moody, your event director for the Arkansas Graveler. Some Q&A, just some housekeeping. A reminder that the Q&A function is enabled. You are encouraged to send in those questions. We'll do our best to answer them all, or at least to what we can get to in about an hour. The chat function is also enabled. Just be good humans about it, but you're welcome to also chat amongst yourselves. Um, and I think we just get started. Scotty, before we dive in, why don't we just hit on the highlights of the 2025 Arkansas Graveler and for those considering registering for this year's event?
Yeah. Hey, everyone. My name is Scotty. For those I don't know, like Brandon said, I'm the event director, so I will be out there in it with you. I'm excited for this June. I kind of want to walk everybody through a day by day real quick and just hit some highlights. We are meeting up in Mina, hopefully June 2nd, which is Monday afternoon. We are going to organize a packet pickup. It's not mandatory, but I would highly encourage you to be there if possible. It's going to be from 3 to 7 p.m. And for those who were with us last year, the major update is you can drop off your luggage the day before and just have a backpack with you for that night. So we will do a luggage pickup there on site at the University of Arkansas at Rich Mountain there in Mina. We will have two rider meetings that you can attend, one at 4 p.m. and one at 6 p.m. Again, those aren't mandatory, but there will be some great information shared. You can get your swag bag. It's totally worth coming and being there for that. Uh, After that, you can grab your own dinner in downtown Mina. Mina is so excited to have us, and we're kind of partnering with a brewery called the Wachitas down there. They're opening up for us, and we'll have kind of a pre-Graveler kickoff party. So feel free to join us there that evening. Day one. All right. So everybody gets to Mina, and we start in downtown Mina. Again, they're thrilled to be there. Mina is the base camp for mountain adventures, and they are so stoked about the Graveler. They are a cycling community that's growing by the day. And so we'll leave from Mina, ride 61 miles to Glenwood. And Glenwood is a cool little river town. You can jump in the Caddo River, do some fishing with Arkansas Game and Fish Commission that afternoon, float in the river. There's the Caddo River Camp and Canoe, where our venue is located, also is a floating and canoeing outfitter. So they're going to partner with us to provide that. Later that night, we'll have dinner on the riverbanks. It's going to be beautiful, and we will listen to some rootsy music from the Sons of Otis Malone. So they'll be back. For those of you who were here in 2024, they played, let's see, where were they? Mountain View. And so they'll be back to give us some great Riverside vibes. Day two, we'll have a local breakfast in Glenwood. You will ride a stunning route to Hot Springs. It's about 63 miles. And just a notable stop on that route, don't miss Burls. We will mark it on the course. You can't miss it. It is like a little piece of Arkansas. It's awesome. Something we are super excited about this year is Oaklawn. And seriously, guys, it's going to be hard to top this year after we all go to Oaklawn. Um, We've got the juice lined up again. That was by request. I had people write in and say, please bring the juice back. And so the juice is back for 2025 at Oaklawn that day too. And Oaklawn is like a world of its own. You can play the casinos, book a spa treatment. You can upgrade to a hotel. I will be sending some info soon about if you do want to get a group block hotel, they're going to give a small discount to our participants. It's not quite ready to share yet, but it is coming. So I'm excited to do that for you guys. The Department of Tourism, the Arkansas Department of Tourism, is also doing a raffle. So one participant from the Graveler will win a free upgrade and a spa treatment. All you have to do is If you are not registered yet, you'll see the opt-in during registration. And if you haven't seen that, just email me and I'll get you the registration link to get in on the giveaway.
Am I eligible? How do I win,
Yeah.
Scotty?
How do you win? Well, you have to
Just
give your email to no the Arkansas Department of Tourism is just going to do a raffle drawing to any participant who opted into the contest. And so we will announce that in May after registration closes who the winner will be.
awesome.
So on day 3, we haven't talked much about day 3, but it has been in the works and we are super excited. We launched yesterday on Instagram 4 jersey designs. So a lot of you know that day 3 is our only timed event throughout the whole Arkansas Graveler. It will be a race, but you can also ride it just for fun. You don't have to race it. For those who do want to race, we are going to kind of give you some incentives. We have 4 very unique jerseys this year that are up for grabs. And we have an overall, a sprint, a KOM or QOM jersey, and a best dressed or best costume. And we're going to give 4 sets of jerseys this year. So we'll do men under 50 and women under 50. And then we'll also have a masters category, men over 50 and women over 50. So there are 16 jerseys out there to win. And you guys, they look cool. I kind of want one just to wear around. But day 3, opt in if you want. If you want to take a rest day, do it. No one will, blink at that. There's so much to do in Hot Springs. And we will have a beautiful brunch on the Oak Lawn field. So those who do want to race will get up, start at 7 a.m. It's a 48-mile loop that I will be sending our participants privately. And that is because we have a very exciting route that's not even really open to the public. We've been granted use on some private land south of Hot Springs. And so this route will not even be open to the public. It's a one of a kind experience. Even if you're not going to race, I encourage you to, consider riding. All right. So obviously Hot Springs is an attraction in and of itself. Oaklawn is awesome, but there's also historic Bath Row. So there's so much to do there. Breweries, restaurants. That night, day 3, we'll all kind of venture into downtown Hot Springs for Bridge Street Live. It's a street music festival. It's going to be really fun. So on to day 4, we'll roll out of Hot Springs, head north towards Morrilton. This is a more challenging route. The longest days are still ahead. Day 4 is a 73-mile route along the eastern side of the Ouachitas. It's got some challenging climbs. It's got beautiful descents, a really cool aid station swimming hole stop at Lake Sylvia. And as we get into Morrilton, you guys will cross the Arkansas River. It's a really cool town. And each of our host cities this year is super stoked about us being there. We've partnered with Point Remove Brewery in Morrilton, and they're going to do a brick oven pizza night for us, beer and live entertainment there at Point Remove. So you're in for a treat there. Day 5, finale, longest day of all. Save a little extra in your tank for day 5. It's a beautiful route, but something really special about day 5 is we've been given permission to go onto some wildlife management land thanks to Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, and they're going to set up a clay shooting aid station there on their private land. So it's going to be an awesome finale day. It's almost like a modern pentathlon. You're going to ride your bike and you can stop and shoot and then get back on your bike, except for you can have all the snacks that you want. So you'll climb up White Oak Mountain. It's a really cool descent. It's a gradual climb, gradual descent. So it's a really, really cool climb. I love it there. And then Arkansas Tech University is now our finale. Quick note, Heber Springs is amazing, you guys. I originally had Heber Springs in the lineup as our finale city. We have shifted to Russellville. Hopefully everybody has heard about the update, but just couldn't find gravel between Morrilton and Heber that really matches the quality of gravel that we hope to provide in this event. And so we had to make a pivot there. But Russellville has taken the baton and they are super stoked to host the Graveler finale. Lots of hotels there for those of you who are worked at the end of the ride. You will be handed a Feltner's Whataburger at the finish line to stuff your face and replenish after a well-deserved long day on the bike. Um, we have had a lot of questions about the shuttle day, and so I will touch on that here, but I'm also open to answering some more questions at the end of this. Day 6, the shuttles leave at 9 a.m. So you can stay in camp at the venue at the finish line. That's an option, complimentary, or you can upgrade to a hotel that evening. If you do go to a hotel, you just got to come back, eat breakfast with us. We'll provide breakfast on site at the venue, and then those shuttles will be loaded. Your bikes will all be loaded that morning. Everybody's headed on the road back to either Hot Springs or Mina by 9 a.m. Okay. All right. So just real quick, let's see. Have I missed anything? Um,
You want to
Brandon,
take a
I think
breath?
that's it. Yeah.
Take a breath. Take a breath, Scotty. That's a lot of information. Yeah, just a reminder, folks, that the Q&A function is enabled. Sorry, I worked out some of the webinar chat there. We didn't have all the permissions wide open, but you guys are welcome to now chat amongst yourselves or with us. We're moderating all of it. Scotty, I think we did get a fair amount of questions as we asked folks to send some in. I think some of them specifically are in line with what you've just been discussing. Like for instance, will I have time to do the race on day 3 and still
Mhm.
hit the spa? I mean, come on, that's an important question. Can I still race my bike and experience hot springs in the same day?
Absolutely. Made a shorter route. It's 48 miles. So it will still leave at 7 a.m. like our other ride days. I'm thinking most people will be done by noon, and you'll have the entire afternoon to program whatever you want, whether it's a spa treatment or going to see hot springs downtown area, hiking, if you just need to get off the bike, whatever. It's all there.
Nice. Yeah, plenty of time to race your bike and still recover. Looking back earlier, like June 2nd, will there be camping available on June 2nd, the night before the start? What does that look like, that day 0 for like a camping the night before?
Yeah, everybody's on their own in terms of accommodating the night before the event. Once you are with us and we depart from Mina, every night after that, you will have complimentary camping, but riders are on their own the night before the event. So June 2nd, plan to make your own accommodations in Mina.
Okay, perfect. All right. Let me check, see if we got any other little questions popping in right now. But again, there's a couple. Let me see here. Um, okay, I don't remember if I opted for the optional day ride. How would I know, or how do I opt in if I already registered? That's an
Yeah,
interesting one. Or you're already in, right?
you you can literally sign up at 6:45 a.m. that morning. We're going to come equipped with number strips. So you already have a number. And if you opt into the race, you will get an adhesive timing strip that goes on the back of your number that morning. So it'll be assigned to your name. You'll have one. Whether you use it or not is up to you, but you can literally decide last minute. We just kind of wanted to get a feel for how many people might want to jump into that. But yeah, you can change your mind. You can also say you want to do it and then change your mind and not do it. So whatever you want to do.
All the options. That's from our friend Ann. Ann, thanks for asking that question. Let's see. As you're still talking about how many miles on day 5 again? What's that fifth day look like mileage
It's a
wise?
76-mile day. It is truly a finale experience.
It,
It'll
it
be
is a
big.
it's a proper day.
It's a
Um,
prepper day.
let's see. Quick review. I'm answering these lives. Quick review of the day 3 private ride in Hot Springs area. Had trouble logging into Zoom. Okay, Cody's asking, can we give them a quick recap about day 3? Here's what I'll tell you. We're recording this and this will be published on our YouTube channel. So Cody, if you got in a little late, just go back, watch the beginning of it. We talk through what that's going to look like on that private ride and that race day out of Hot Springs.
Mhm.
Um, Let's see. All right, Scott, I think yeah, some of this other stuff that is being asked, we'll be able to talk about here in a little bit. But
You bet.
let's move on to question 2, right? We've prepared a few. Give us a bird eye view of event week. Maybe just pick a day. Let's go through a sample day. You've kind of did a great job of breaking down this kind of 5,000-foot view. Let's go in maybe 500 feet now and kind of dive
Mhm.
into what does each day look like on the Graveler?
Yeah. So gravelers will typically, wake up with the sun. We have a rolling start window between 7 and 7:30 each morning. And so we'll brew some fresh coffee there at the campground. You will wake up and start packing your stuff back into your bins, take it to the luggage truck. All of that needs to be done by 7:30 at the latest. We'd like the last rider out by 7:30. So all throughout that morning, you can pack yourself a sandwich. We are going to have a build your own sandwich station this morning. A lot of people like to stop at the local cafes. There are enough amenities on the route to do that if you don't want to pack a sandwich. But we did have some participants say last year that they really would have appreciated just a sandwich for just some, emotional security of having food. But I do want to mention that there are some really iconic places on the route as well. So make a sandwich if you need one. Leave it if you don't. It's up to you. Breakfast each day is going to be brought to us this year by local vendors. And so we have partnered with each host city to identify some local caterers that will be providing breakfast. Sometimes this is a church, sometimes it's a cafe, and we will let riders know either it will usually be just like a short ride to breakfast. And by short, I mean like no longer than a mile. So you might want to pack up your things, get ready for the day, ride to breakfast, and then head out on route because our luggage team will already be packing up and loading and going to the next place. So ride departs 7:30, you're on the road, you stop for breakfast, that's fine. But then you out on your own amazing scenic roads of rural Arkansas. You can ride at your own pace. We have 2 dedicated graveler equipped aid stations on every day's route, in addition to Dollar Generals and mom and pop stores and one-off cafes. So you will be taken care of. There's not a single day where you need a third bottle on your jersey. It's like you will have what you need. So this year the routes are epic. We've already talked about that. Swimming holes, stream crossings. It's really beautiful. The Ouachitas are very special. You will ride and arrive at the next venue. Your camp gear will already be there waiting for you. Your bin that you packed up will already be there. You'll get it, claim it, go set up your campsite at your own leisure, or you can clean up first, grab a shower or whatever you need. That is kind of up to you how you order your afternoon. But once you're done with the bike, we will have a lineup of off bike activities. It's optional, but some of these include fishing, floating. We have games that we bring with us, like lawn games. We'll have live music every night. We'll have charging stations for those of you who are on e-bikes. This is the time to kind of take care of your own gear and get ready for the next day. We'll call everybody to dinner around 5:30. We are usually going to program music during dinner. That's a little bit of a change from last year. We decided to combine dinner and music at the same time so everybody's enjoying everything in one place. And then throughout the evening, if you want to get on your bike and go explore the downtown scene, you're welcome to do that, or you can tuck in under the stars and call it a day because it will be worthy of some rest.
Well, that's a good segue to a question we got about the cooking for breakfast and dinner. Similar to last year, I know we had Chef Bijou with us last year. Maybe Scotty, talk a little bit about that kind of dinner, breakfast, what they can expect
Yeah.
there, what you can expect to find. In addition to that, kind of build
Mm-hmm.
your own sandwich for lunch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So breakfast is provided every day. Sandwich station is provided every day. We do have an update, a little bit of a change from last year, whereas, we had a private chef that traveled with us last year. This year we made a change, and it really is to give back to the local communities that we're visiting because they have some very cool restaurants and caterers that we want to support as part of our commitment to giving back to these host cities. And so we are going to feed you guys dinner using local caterers on nights 1, 2, and 4. Day 3, we're going to all just go into downtown Hot Springs and eat around at local restaurants. You'll want to. There's some really good restaurants and bars and breweries and things in Hot Springs. So we've left that one night unprogrammed. And then on the finale day, it's kind of the same scenario. We're going to provide burgers at the finish just to kind of top you off at the finish line. but then it'll be a dine around Russellville scenario where you can group up with your buddies from the week and just go find a restaurant that suits your flavor.
Awesome. It's lunchtime. I'm hungry right now. Hopefully folks are eating while they're tuned in today. I'm excited about the Caddo River, excited to be able to jump in the river and maybe grab a tube and spend the afternoon after a full day of riding in the river and floating down the river on day one. David asked, how about the other days? What's that? What's the water going to look like on route? Is there any other? There were some really cool little hidden little pools last year along the route. What have you found out there for us, Scotty?
Yeah, so day one is definitely Caddo River focused. Day two, we're really gonna just plug into hot springs, and day three for that matter. However, Arkansas Game and Fish will provide an archery competition on days two, three, and four. So when we're in Hot Springs and in Morrilton, archery is going to be your ticket to off bike Arkansas Game and Fish type activities. That being said, Oaklawn is an activity. I mean, they have so much going on in there, and they've already committed to giving each graveler a $10 voucher just to get into the casino and play something fun on your own. So if you've never gambled, it might just be fun just to give it a try. So that is an activity. We will have also, the downtown scene. Morrilton has a dedicated horseshoe competition. Like they have lanes of horseshoes. And so we're going to do a horseshoe competition that evening in Morrilton. And then the shooting during the ride is really our kind of off bike activity. We won't have any off bike activity at the finale itself because we're going to program it during the day in the ride.
Awesome. Okay, well then that's a good segue, and we'll just take that as a segue into the next question, which is let's talk about recommendations, what you may have for our participants to consider when preparing for next June, and what resources are already available to them.
Mm-hmm.
A couple questions to maybe consider talking about is the weather. Like one thing we did this year and for 2025 versus 2024 is we did move that up in the year. What do you expect the temps and maybe the potential for rainfall to look like? And how do we see that potentially impacting the camping areas? These are great questions that folks are asking.
Yeah, Arkansas is like a box of chocolates. You never know. And so we hope that in moving 3 weeks earlier that we are avoiding the heat, but also kind of the rainiest season. Praying for good weather, but do your rain dance, people, because it could rain. Yeah, it can always rain. We do have some inclement weather backup plans as part of our risk management. Your safety will always be our first priority. And so we've identified places where if we do need to storm shelter for even overnight, we've got those places locked down for you guys. But it's best to come prepared, bring what you need to be comfortable on your bike in a variety of conditions. I'll just say it like that. We do have a packing list available on our website. So somebody had typed in a question about what do we pack? There is a full blown packing list on arkansasgraveler.com. So go find that online, and it's pretty thorough in terms of what we think is going to make you comfortable for that week. I think that's
Perfect.
it. Did I answer all your questions there?
I think you got them all in there. Yeah, I
Okay.
think you got them. We'll refer folks to that FAQ. Couple questions
Mm-hmm.
coming in. Dick, how's the ice on the route? We know it was hot last year. Again, we're doing things to accommodate that. One, it's going to be 3 weeks earlier, trying to get
Mm-hmm.
ahead of that, some of those hotter late June temps, which I'm excited about. We all are. And then, as Scotty mentioned, there's a lot more resources available on this year's routing. And so, from having 2 guaranteed aid stations on route each and every day, maybe a third if we see we have the ability as a event production company, those are foundation to at any time pop up a third aid station. Should the weather get hot, we'll be ready and we'll be prepared and able to provide y'all to keep y'all cool as you ride should we get into some hotter temps earlier in June. And so, yeah, we're being thoughtful of all of this. We've learned all those lessons from year one and applying them to year two. And we're doing a lot of this just to create, again, the most hospitable gravel ride in the country. All right, let's look and see. So David asked about bike security, Scotty. Is
Hmm.
there bike security in camp? And I'm going to say yes. Folks don't have to lock up their bikes. You know, if you're riding your bike around in town, obviously you would
Yeah.
want to just be considerate of where you're parking it. Maybe if that's something you want to do, bring a bike lock for sure. But at the
Yes.
same time, at the venues and overnight security will be provided in camp for everyone and their bikes.
Yep. Good note. I mean, be mindful of your own bike. If you're gonna ride it into town, I would pack a small, like just a security lock of some kind if you want to explore.
Good
Yeah.
question about our non-riding participants. As we know, we have several joining us again this year. And while we're all riding our bikes or we're on the route, that's going to be a different route is going to take those participants along. You know, obviously we want to minimize the traffic out there as you're riding these beautiful gravel roads throughout the Ouachitas. And so the non-participants will be driving a separate route that will take them through rightfully through some towns and things like that. But I think what they're asking about is, those on route activities, are they going to be able to partake in those? And I would say the
Yeah.
chances that some, yes, right? What's there? What's that look like?
Yeah. So any non-riding participant can basically tap into any off-bike activity. For example, what we're going to recommend is that non-riding participants actually get there as early, earlier in the day so that you can participate in some of these things and allow the riders as they're funneling in to take those spots later. So, for example, if you wanted to float the river on day one, you could schedule a time as early as 11 a.m. and get in on that first float trip. And if you want to wait for your rider, that's fine too. If you're accompanying a rider, you can wait for them. But there will be some cool things. There's also things that the riders might not even get to do that you could tap into, such as local museums and daytime activities that someone finishing at 4 p.m. might not have the chance to do.
Great answer and great questions. Keep them coming. These are great questions. We appreciate all the response. Okay, Scotty, I'm going to just kind of remind folks that we're excited to have Fat Tire Bike Shop team back with us in
Hmm.
2025. They'll be there all week long, providing neutral mechanical support for participants throughout the event. You'll see them out on course each day, mixed in with the riders, and then each evening there'll be an opportunity for you to check in your bike. So that we're going to have there'll be a actual kind of pseudo bike shop at each venue each night, and you'll be able, when you're done riding, if your bike needs some type of maintenance or repair, that they can accommodate, which they can accommodate most things, not everything, but they're pretty magical with what they can do to keep folks moving day to day. There'll be a check-in process. You'll be able to drop your bike off with them the next morning, magically show up, and your bike be ready to go. That's the plan. We just want to again give Fat Tire a shout out, thank them for joining us, and a reminder: anyone looking for specifics on gear recommendations and timeline for services, we did record a great episode with Nickel and the team at Fat Tire back in December. That lives live on our YouTube channel. You can go back and give that a watch if you didn't attend in December, and they give a great breakdown of just some recommendations of what to do for your bike to get prepared for a multi-day tour like the Arkansas Graveler. Okay, Scotty, next question. For those that have already signed up for the Graveler, um, tell them anything about the process over the 90 days leading up to the event. We're 90 days out. What information should they be on the lookout for over the next 3 months?
Yeah. So actually, later this week, all participants that are in the full Graveler will get sent the day three route. It'll be for your review. Like I said, we're not going to publicly publish that route just because it does venture into some privately owned land. And so you'll receive the route, and that way you can start looking at it and figure out if it's something you want to do or not. So look for an email from me this week. Each participant can expect to receive their official rider guide by May 1st. So this will be your detailed race Bible, so to speak, even though we're not a race, but it's a run of show for the 2025 Graveler. It will have a very comprehensive day-to-day guide that will answer your questions like, where do I park when I get to Mina? Stuff like that. And so um, all of those little details will be delivered by May 1st, which will still give riders plenty of time to secure any accommodation upgrades or to make any travel changes needed.
Perfect. I think that's probably a good segue to talk about. You mentioned the full Gravelers. How does
Mhm.
let's maybe talk a minute and talk about this half grab experience, what you've coined the half graveler or the half grab. How does that work? What does that experience look like for folks considering joining us towards the end of the week?
Yeah, the half grab is going to be super fun for somebody that can't commit to a full week of time off. You show up Thursday night, pretty much anytime you'd like, but I'd recommend getting there before Bridge Street Live if it were me. Join us in Hot Springs for Bridge Street Live. It's going to be a music festival and street festival in downtown Hot Springs. Very fun. You can camp with us that night at Oaklawn and do the Oaklawn experience. But half gravelers will ride days 4 and 5, the exact same route as our full gravelers, just the finale 2 days. So you show up Thursday, you're done Saturday night. You can opt into the shuttle experience if you need a trip back to Hot Springs to get your vehicle. It's pretty much the same exit process, just back to Hot Springs instead of Mina. And so it's a very comprehensive little 2 day journey. So I'm looking forward to that.
I am too. And I mean, excited about this shared finish line between those that have
Yeah.
able to join us for the full week. And then if you're just able to join us for the half grab, that's fine. We encourage you to do so. And we all get to celebrate together there in Russellville. Few questions that have come in. Back to the SAG real quick. There will be tire spokes, tubes, cables. We'll have all that on course in the SAG vehicles. We've got a full team of SAG out on course each and every day. That said, we do encourage everybody to please, rightfully, bring your own supplies as well. Be prepared to change your own tire if you don't want to set out and wait for a SAG vehicle to roll up. And so I'll be
Right.
prepared, bring what you need to keep that bike moving. But if you get in a situation, every SAG vehicle out there will be stocked with the things to, if it's something simple like a flat tire or something to keep you moving and keep your day going, and get you into camp each and every
Mhm.
day. Um, Let's see, a couple more things. A shower situation. That's a great one. Scotty,
Mm.
listen, I'm riding my bike every day in the Ouachitas. It's beautiful. Gonna get a little dusty, gonna get a little
I'm
dirty.
thirsty.
What dirty? I'm gonna be thirsty and I'm gonna be dirty. Thirsty. We're making up words. I love it. But that's gonna be a t-shirt. But what does the shower situation look like? What's that? Is it like last year?
Yes.
Where can I take a bath?
Yeah. Shower trailers are going to be there each and every day. So starting the day you take off from Mina, when you get to Glenwood, there will be shower trailers and they will follow us alongside the event for the remainder of the event. So um, you will have a shower or you can jump in the Caddo. It's up to you, but I recommend a shower.
Come get thirsty with us, right? There you go. I think we're coining it. It's a thing. We're going to make it a thing. Okay, question 6. For those on the fence, so we've talked all about this, some pretty exciting opportunities coming up. For those that are still on the fence, how much time do they have to decide to join us to what is truly shaking up for an iconic year of gravel riding throughout the Ouachitas?
Yeah. May 12th is the final day to sign up for the full Graveler. And then if you're considering the half, we are extending that a little bit longer till May 19th. And so we've got about 2 months to go.
2 months to go. Love it. Okay, couple things. We're gonna just again, questions are still coming in. I'm trying to fit them in where they
Hmm.
make sense. But we talked a little bit about this finale. We're ending in Russellville. That question about how do we pack the bikes in the shuttle bus? Answer is we don't. So we're pretty good at moving both bikes and bodies. We just don't do it together. So we've got some shuttle buses. We'll load all the people up in, and then we did a great job last year. Shout out to the team, but we U-Haul type box trucks, and then packing blankets. And so that was a great way to safely move all of your bikes, hundreds of thousands of dollars of bikes successfully back across the state, everybody in very safe and secure manner. And so we're pretty good about packing the bikes down and getting them back to the start there in Mina for you so that you guys can appropriately start heading on your way home. And so yeah, don't we're experienced when it comes to moving bodies and bikes.
Hmm.
Um,
Absolutely.
Question from David's lovely wife this time. I think we said we will have
Mhm.
camping on the last night before the bus ride back to Mina the next day. Just wanted to make sure
Yes.
that's a possibility. Is that a reminder on Russellville? I've made it to Russellville. I did the thing.
Yes.
I can camp that night.
You sure can. Yeah, it'll be right where the finale is.
Perfect. And then just somebody saying they will bring a rain jacket. Is there any reason to bring along cold weather gear, knee warmers, long sleeves? Great opportunity here to talk about those bins. We've got some questions about the bins and
Yeah.
packing stuff in. Like, what in that early June? I mean, potentially could need some knee warmers early in the morning, maybe
Vest,
some arm
light vest.
warmers, maybe a
Yeah.
light vest. Yeah, I'd be
Yeah.
prepared for
Yeah.
layers. That's what we'd recommend, right, Scotty? Just
Yep.
bring the layers. Chances are you're not even never going to need to pull them out of your bin, but better to have them and not use them and not have them and get out there and it be a little chilly one morning.
Yeah. The one thing I will say, guys, is the nature of endurance cycling is, it could be 95 degrees during the day, but if it drops under 70, that gap in temperature, anytime it's exceeding like a 20-degree difference, your body is going to feel chilly in the evening. So prepare for that. It might not, you might look at it and say, oh, it's going to be 70 degrees at night. Your body has been under the stress of multiple days of riding. And so you kind of have to treat yourself like a baby and wrap up, just to keep your body from shivering and getting cold some nights. And so be smart, check the weather before you come, take a look at what it's going to be like. And like Brandon said, it's always better to have it and not need it.
Yeah, and during the event, throughout the event, we will be providing weather updates for you as well. We'll do that twice a day for participants. So just know we always have our eye on the sky and are regularly monitoring weather conditions, and we'll be able to update you appropriately on what to expect day after day throughout the week as the weather, as it does, changes. And so yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we'll be able to keep you updated. And just come like we said, maybe just come prepared for a couple seasons of riding, and better to have it and not use it. But you mentioned getting cold. That's a great opportunity. Are the cold plunges returning, Scotty?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, we'll have several ice baths available at the finish lines. And so that was something that people really saw a lot of value in. And this year, particularly in Morrilton, there's a really cool nonprofit called the Veterans Future Foundation, and they are going to bring a whole recovery tent. And so they're going to have some recovery boots, cold plunges, really cool opportunity for you guys to get ready for the big finale day with Veterans Future Foundation.
Yeah, excited to have them on board and look forward to, well, imagine lots of folks are going to take us up on some cold plunges. That's a good, just a reminder, guys, guys and gals, we also have a full medical team at the
Mm-hmm.
venue each and every day. You'll find registered RNs and medical support on course each day at each aid station. They'll be staffed. We'll have first aid available at each aid station. You get a boo-boo, you need it addressed. You can do that on course. If it's something a little bit more serious, we'll be able to take you to the finish venue each day where we'll have a full team of RNs and EMTs ready to see to you. And, should you need to go be seen by someone else, we'll have the ability to then transport you as well. And so just know that from a medical perspective, you'll be covered throughout the route from beginning to end. And at all times, including all through the night, medical professionals will be at the venue with you at all times. And so we take safety very seriously. And yeah, we'll be prepared both with the mechanical side of things to keep your bike moving and the medical side of things to keep your body moving. So we got you covered there. Scotty, about here's a question that came in from Instagram about the bins. How will they be labeled and managed? I know last year, I imagine we'll do something similar. We'll probably try a different adhesive. We know we had some stickers that weren't sticking to some bins last year,
Yeah.
but don't worry, we're addressing that. But I imagine is it similar way? Talk how do we keep up with everybody's stuff?
Yeah. Great question. Every rider will be assigned a number. You'll get a number plate that goes on your bicycle. So you will be able to identify it as such, and that will match your bin numbers. So, like Brandon said, we gave everyone stickers last year for their bins. We had a little problem with the adhesive in the sun, but we're addressing that. And you will get an adhesive sticker that goes on your bin, and it's just a number. And so when the luggage team is taking the bins off the truck, they'll stack them in numerical order to make it easy for you guys to locate your bins. Um, in addition to that, you are allowed to bring one small backpack, that will have a bag tag as well that corresponds with those numbers. So that's how we keep track of it. You're welcome to write your name on it as well. It never hurts to have a name on something. So if you want to Sharpie your name on there, you're welcome to do that too.
Questions are still coming in. Parking recap real quick on the parking situation in Mena. Tess asked, sorry if she missed it. Where are we
Mhm.
parking to where are we leaving our cars at in Mena, Arkansas?
Yeah, we have a dedicated space already located and set out in Mena. That will be all detailed in the rider guide that'll be delivered by May 1st. You'll know exactly where to go. You'll have permission to leave it there all week while you're doing your thing. Same on Russellville. There is a dedicated parking space there too for anybody who wants to leave a vehicle at ATU. You can. They'll let you do that for the week. So if somehow you want to park at ATU and have a vehicle at the finish line, you could do that as well. All of this will be spelled out in detail in the rider guide.
As well, someone asked, what time will the transportation be leaving from Russellville back to Mena? But I think you already said 9 a.m. on day
9
6. Is
a.m.
it right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, couple more questions. We got just a few more minutes. Again, keep them coming if you got a few more. Gravel conditions. Let's talk a little bit about
Mm-hmm.
maybe what the difference is in your experience in riding in the Watchtaws and the Ozarks. Last year was an amazing year where we just grinded our way across the Ozark Mountains. This year, going to a completely different and unique mountain range, the Watchtaws south of the Arkansas River. What do you think the gravel like? What's the give us the description of the two?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe how they differ.
That's a It's a great question. It is a bit similar. I would say if you are from Arkansas, you'll notice some differences, but if you're from out of state, it'll probably feel pretty similar. So a lot of the gravel in Arkansas is on top of a rock. We have a very firm, rocky surface here. And somebody had asked me about narrow tires versus wide. I really recommend you go wide if you can. And that is because Arkansas has a rock underlayer and it can be jarring. And it's not because it's chunky gravel. We usually have pretty good gravel here, but underneath that is rock. And so it's not sandy. It's not a situation where, you're going to get a cushy ride. It is a rock based ride. And so I recommend doing a little wider tire so you can lower the tire pressure that you run and thereby, give yourself a little more bounce, almost like a suspension system.
Yeah, that's a
But I
great way
think
to
the
put
gravel
it.
is really fun this year. There are a lot of streams that we're going to be going by. I just think it's very scenic. And if you were here last year, the Ozarks is kind of a deciduous tree scenario. This is piney, and so it really is like a fresh pine smell that you get. It's beautiful, and we go by a lot of very cool streams, crystal clear, like just pristine environments where you won't see homes for miles. Like no, there are sections where you won't have to worry about, is there a dog? It's like, no, there's nobody out there. It's really fun.
Love that. Helpful. Speaking of fun, is there an opportunity to get a massage at the end of the ride each day? And Scotty, I don't think we currently have plans for masseuse, but something tells me you might hot springs. You could liable to find somebody down there that could. That's
Yes.
a good time to get one too. Midweek, I've been riding my bike for 3 days. Maybe you just want to get loosened back
Yeah,
up. If you're looking for those services, I think you'll be able to find
for
them at
sure.
places like hot springs.
So the Astral Spa is Oaklawn's, it's like a Forbes high rated spa. So there's that. There are also several spas and massage clinics in downtown Hot Springs. The best place to find out anything Hot Springs related is the Visit Hot Springs website. And so if you want to get on there and kind of see, they've got recommendations for all that kind of stuff. If you want to take a mineral bath from the literal hot springs that the town is named after, you can do that. All of those things you would probably want to pre-book before you go, but there's still plenty of time to do that.
Yep. And again, on that rest or ride day, you have the option to
Mm-hmm.
race your bike, ride your bike, or take a rest and head to, like head down. They call it Spa City for a reason. Head down to that
Mm-hmm.
historic bathhouse row and well, pamper yourself a little bit. Back to the gravel, the tire width recommendation. I'll answer that one. I mean, as Scotty said, the wider the better. I'm not saying max out the total of what your bike can accommodate, but most of us here in Arkansas, we're rocking 42C, maybe 45. Everyone at this point, the professional gravel, they've all gone mountain bike tires. That's the way the industry's going. And that
Mm-hmm.
does favor the type of gravel that we have here in Arkansas. So wider is better. You're going to be able to run lower tire pressure. You're just going to be more comfortable after multiple days of riding. And so we just, whatever, if your bike can, accommodate 40 or 42, 45, 47. I mean, just, I would consider maybe maxing out that tire width for a multi-day ride like this. Again, it's a ride, not a race, except for that one day. And you'll be happier towards the end of the ride that you went with those wider tires for sure.
Mhm.
Cell coverage on course. I know last year again, the Watchtows or the Ozarks pretty spotty out there. I have to imagine that the cell service in the Watchtower is pretty similar.
Yeah. Yeah, so the cool thing is our venues have cell service. Some of our venues didn't even have cell service last year, but the towns you'll be able to get full reception. However, we are going through some very remote regions where you will not be able to connect with cell phone coverage. And so what we did last year for participants is we created a WhatsApp group. And the cool thing about WhatsApp is you can send a message, and then as soon as your phone gets back into an area of coverage, it will send the message. Whereas a text, it won't do that. And so we'll be using WhatsApp as a means of communicating to you from staff to rider. But then as a rider, you can also, if you have an emergency or just need some kind of aid, you can also send a message and get it up the road.
Yeah, and that's if we send something out to you and you're not currently in service, you will get it as soon as you go back into
Mm-hmm.
service. And so for rides like this, well, that's one of the best ways that we have and to solve for communication. Let's see a couple other things. Stretches of paved roads. I would say that this is a gravel ride, predominantly
Mm-hmm.
probably about 65% gravel is kind of what we're shooting for because we know in Scotty designing the routes, she can talk to this, but it's nice to find a little reprieve. Sometimes it's nice to find a little stretch of tarmac and be able to set up a little bit. So, what's kind of the gravel to pavement ratio, and when can they expect to find some of those paved sections?
Yeah, you're gonna, so this, like Brandon said, it's a balance. We want to give people amenities when you get there. We want to be in a cool host city where you have things to do and great food and the option for hotels. And so the pavement sections are really you getting in and out of the host cities. That's really where the majority of our pavement falls. And so it might be, a 5 or 10 mile ride out of the city, and then you're just on miles and miles of beautiful gravel. And then towards the end of your day, you pop back onto pavement and make your way into the next host city. And so the gravel sections are heavy in the center of each route. So from between mile like 10 and 50, it's going to be predominantly gravel. And then you'll have some pavement bookending.
Nice. GPS files, folks asked about those. Those will go out. That'll be in that rider
Mm-hmm.
packet May 1st. All the links to the
Yeah.
GPS files for you to upload to your Garmin, Wahoo, whatever kind of bike computer. We do recommend that you do carry a bike computer if you want to have some means of navigation, if it's your phone or a bike computer. That said, we have an incredible team that'll be going out every morning. The plan is to fully mark the course each and every day. And so you shouldn't have to rely on that. Some people just like to be able to look down their computer. I'm one of those as well. I get it. Bring that stuff, be able to, well, all those files will be available to you in that rider guide, but just know the courses will be completely and fully marked each and every day. Um,
Yeah.
about back to the storage crates. If I keep a duffel under 50 pounds, do I still have to bring a storage crate? I would say yes. The reality is if you can, we move these things by crate. We stack these trucks by crate. It's very efficient that everybody bring that crate. And so even if it's under 50 pounds, that's a bonus for our team that has to load these each and every day. But just for the packability and the way the system that we have to move all your gear each and every day, we recommend that you go please purchase one of those storage crates. They're $9 at Sam's. I mean, it's not that expensive to have one. And we'd love for you. Lowe's sells them, Home Depot sells
Mm-hmm.
them. You can pick them up pretty much anywhere, but it's more efficient for our team if you do show up with crate in hand.
Yep.
Um, Karaoke this year. That's a good one. He's a tiny bikes. Are those going to be back? Karaoke shenanigans will happen. We promise you that. If
Yeah.
we don't have karaoke figured out, something tells me we could probably make that happen as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any plans for karaoke?
So because we're all going like into hot springs that night, the one night that I'm thinking that karaoke might be on the table would be at Point Remove Brewery. So
Nice.
I'm glad someone brought that up. I'm glad that people want it to come back. That's awesome. We'll do our best to make that happen.
Day one, two, four, and five routes are already available. Obviously, the race course route is coming. Again, it being private property, that's why we haven't
Hmm.
put that out publicly. It will be in your rider guides. Any reason to think these routes might change or be modified? Uh,
So,
Probably not, but we're going to go check. We
mhm.
drive this entire course 2 weeks ahead of the event. We get fresh eyes on every mile of the gravel ahead of time. If we have any last minute changes, we will do them ahead of time enough for you to then re-upload any type of file that you needed into your Garmin device and readdress. But chances are, Scotty, at this point, feeling pretty confident about the routes that we have.
Yeah, for sure. It would be a very minor change, if a change at all.
Now, Dick said, I didn't use GPS at all last year. We marked it so well. And that's the truth. I mean, just know that, like, chances are, bring it. We want you to bring it, have that option for self navigation, but chances are you'll just be able to appropriately follow the well marked course each and every day. Um, Scotty, this is like that is I feel like we've answered all the questions that have
Hmm.
come in on the Q&A, which has been a ton. Thanks, folks. And then also all the pre-questions we got off of Instagram. It's 12:50. Feeling pretty good about this. You want to give people about 10 more minutes of their time and maybe they can grab a sandwich before they go back to work.
Yeah, absolutely. I will just say that for anybody on the fence, we'd love to have you come to Arkansas this summer. If not for the full, consider the half. It's well worth it. And just from what our participants said last year, people walked away with some amazing friendships. And that's really like at the end of the day why I do this thing. It builds relationships all across the state from people out of state. It's one of those things that's an unforgettable experience. So we hope to see you there.
That's right. With miles of backcountry gravel roads meandering through inviting small towns and into welcoming overnight communities, you're quickly going to see why we say the Arkansas Graveler is America's most hospitable gravel ride. And we hope to see everybody in June. Have a good day, folks.
Hi guys. Thank you.